So like I said, this example might be a little bit more challenging than the last example. But remember what we say in math every day? We say our growth mindset statement. So let's say that together. I am not afraid of a challenge. I can train my brain to do it. I can't do it yet. With effort, I can. My mistakes help me grow. So that first statement is I am not afraid of a challenge. So even though this next number story might seem a little bit more challenging, I know that each and every one of you can do it. So the first thing we need to do is understand this number story. So to do that, let's read it through together. So Nadine had some brownies for a bake sale. She sold 25 brownies on Monday and 12 brownies on Tuesday. She has 5 brownies left. How many brownies did Nadine have to start with? So already I notice this number story is a little bit different than that last number story we solved together. Because in that last number story, we knew how many Legos Sarah had to start with. Whereas this one, we don't know how many brownies Nadine had to start with. And that's what we need to find out. So now that we understand this number story, let's move on to solving and planning this number story. So the first thing we need to do to plan is underline and circle the most important information that will tell us what we need to do to find the answer. So let's read again together. Nadine had some brownies for a bake sale. So right away, I'm going to underline some because I know that's what we need to find out. We don't know how many Nadine had to start with. She sold 25 brownies on Monday and 12 brownies on Tuesday. I'm going to underline sold because that tells me that she sold 25 brownies. So I'm going to circle 25. On Monday, I'm going to circle Monday because that's one day that she sold them. And 12 brownies, I'm going to circle 12 on Tuesday. I'm going to underline Tuesday because that's that next day that she sold brownies. Now, I'm thinking in my head that since we need to find out what Nadine had to start with, I know that she had at least 25 and 12 brownies because that's how many she sold. So for our first step, or step 1, we need to find the total amount of brownies that she sold on Monday and on Tuesday. And if we're finding the total sum, do we need to add or subtract? Well, we need to add because we're finding the sum. So what I'm going to do, and on Seesaw you will do the same thing, you're going to draw a picture. I'm going to draw a picture by showing a big plate. Now this plate is going to show how many brownies Nadine had to start with, but we don't know that yet. So I'm going to draw a question mark at the bottom because that's what I need to find out. But we do know that on Monday she sold 25 brownies. So I'm going to draw in base 10 shorthand 25. So I'm going to draw 1 long, 2 longs, there's 20, and 5 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to draw a big M on top because that's showing how many she sold on Monday. So there's my 25. Now, I know that she also sold 12 on Tuesday. Now I'm going to draw those 12 brownies right here on the plate. 1 long and 2 cubes. And I'm going to draw a big T on top. So that's Tuesday. So already, I know that she had at least 25 and 12. And to find that sum, remember we need to add. So I'm going to count the total. So I have 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So I have 25 plus 12 equals 37. So Nadine sold 37 total brownies on Monday and Tuesday. Now let's read on for our step 2 to find out what we need to do next. So then we find out that Nadine has 5 brownies left. So I'm going to circle 5 and I'm going to underline brownies left. Now, thinking about how many she had to start with, she had to have those 5 brownies to start with too. Now, even though she didn't sell them, that means that she did have them to begin with. So I'm going to draw those 5 brownies on the plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that even though she didn't sell them, again, she had to have them to start with. So the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to take that 37 and I'm going to bring it all the way down here. Because remember, we always need to take our answer from step 1 and bring it down to start with for step 2. Now, I see that even though she has them left over, she did have them to start with because she made them for the bake sale. So I need to add or subtract. Well, if 37 is the number she sold, but we know she had 5 more at the end left over, then we need to add. So 37 plus 5. Now, I might think about that with maybe my friendly numbers of 10. So I'm thinking I might think 35 plus 5 for my combinations of 10 is 40. And then I have that 2 left over from 37. So I have 40 plus 2 equals 42. So 37 plus 5 equals 42. And that is my final answer. That is how many cookies or brownies Nadine had to start with. So I'm going to write Nadine had 42 brownies to start with. Because remember, we always want to end by labeling our answer with the unit. So Nadine had 42 brownies to start with. Now to check my work, I'm going to think about how could I check my work? Well, I can look at the plate that I made of brownies she had to start with. So I'm going to count 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. And if I wanted to too, I could even show that with an exchange by showing, so I have 5 here and 5 here. So I could show her plate with having 4 longs, because I just made that exchange, and I have 2 cubes left over. So she had 42 brownies. So that was a little bit more challenging. We really had to think about what happened in the story to solve it. And there is going to be a challenge problem for you to do that's similar to this on Seesaw. And if you have any questions, remember, we are here to help you, and you can reach out to us on Seesaw or on Google Classroom. Thank you so much, boys and girls. I'm so excited to see you try these 2-step number stories, and I can't wait to see you all on Flipgrid and on Seesaw today. Thanks so much!